All right, it's your boy Big Al, Drive GM, Big Al's Bike and Auto, whatever you want to call it. Here with my buddy Jaden, and we're going to look at a 2003 Jeep Liberty Sport to potentially flip. The deal with it is, looks pretty clean. The guy says there's nothing wrong with it except that the driver's door was hit. And I've looked at the pictures, and it looks like the damage is just isolated on that door. If that's he's asking $1,200 or best offer. The market down here, Liberties are selling anywhere from $2 grand, like for a real crap one. And this one, besides the door, is in nice shape, supposedly. But they're selling anywhere from $2 grand to $3,500 for 2003 to 2005. So definitely some great flip potential. I get that door. I already looked. 2 of the local yards in this area have a silver Jeep Liberty Sport door for like 40 bucks. So hopefully it just needs that door and there's no frame damage or any damage to the tub, or whatever you want to call it. But that's the case. Try to make a deal on this thing. I don't have too much money to play with right now, so all I've got is about $700. I mean, maybe I go take $100 out of my checking account if I really wanted to make this deal happen. But he's had it up for sale for a week. Doesn't seem like he's had any bites on it. Typical example of poor advertising. It's up on Craigslist. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope I can pull this deal off. I hope it's worth doing, because that'd be a great flip with some huge profit potential, and Jeeps are popular. It'll sell pretty quick. So anyway, I got the turn coming up. We'll check back in with you guys soon. All right, so we just looked at that Jeep, and it was hit pretty hard on the driver's side. The tub was still okay. Frame was okay. You know, I had some minor oil leaks, just basic stuff for a vehicle that age, that mileage. Chick was asking $1,200. I tried to get her down to $400. I made it sound like the damage was a lot worse, which is still pretty bad. It needed a driver's door. It was probably going to need the driver's side rear door from taking out the damaged driver's door, because it's so banged in there. But I can see it was a beautiful neighborhood. People have plenty of money. I don't want to just let the thing go. But this is the flipping game. This is what happens. You got to go look at these cars, and it's not always going to work out. And you know, the problem here was that I think the girl bought the car with her own money, or at least had a lot of her money into it, and she was too sensitive about not getting a decent return on it, or not obviously a return, but not losing too much. And Dad was just standing there. I wish Dad was like, okay, get this thing out of my driveway, it looks like shit. And maybe that's what he was thinking. Jaden thinks that he thought we were full of crap, which obviously we're exaggerating the problems a little bit. But that's what you got to do, you know. And she ended up countering at $700. Maybe I should have countered at $500, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's a 2003 Jeep Liberty. It's not like it was a 2008 Jeep or something. Yeah, it's a $3,000 vehicle, but that hit was so hard that we would have to do a lot of cutting and welding to put in a new rocker in that area. And again, you'd just be able to tell if there was an accident. The vehicle would never be able to sell that $3,000 price point. So, you know, is it really worth it for maybe a $600, $700, $800 profit? I don't know. I don't think it's going anywhere. If I change my mind in a day or two, I can always tell her I'll pay her a little bit more for it. But I'm hoping I'll get a call from her saying she'll take the $400. She seemed a little indecisive, like she didn't know what to do, and she ended up deciding not to sell it to me, but you can tell she was thinking about it. So that's the scoop with that. We might see if there's anything else out there today to look at, but the Jeep so far is a no-go. All right, so we're out here now, and I think I figured out what's wrong with the Envoy. I don't know if I talked about it in a recent video, but I had the new fuel tank put in and the filler neck on the recall, and I figured that would take care of this rough idle issue I was having, but it still was there, and the check engine light came back on. So I ran the code again with a code reader, and it came back as a P0440, which is an evap code. But I'm reading on the Envoy and Trailblazer forums, and they're saying that I'm going to clean the MAF, I'm going to clean the throttle body, clean everything up the best I can, and hopefully that takes care of this rough idle I've got, and that'll be nice and easy. I was afraid maybe it was coil packs or something, but they've been done very recently. You can tell they're all marked. So I'm thinking that's going to be it. That'll be a nice, quick, easy fix. And we got to figure out what's going on with the alignment on this truck or something, because it drives straight, but if you touch the wheel, it'll just keep turning that way. and the wheel is all, like, until you turn it back, like the wheel isn't returned to the center like it should, or at least try to. So right now we're just taking this brace off to get to the battery, disconnect it before we do this work. So we'll tune back in with you guys when we get everything open, take a look at how much carbon buildup is in there. But okay, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to take this thing out, but whatever. That should be enough. All right, so we've got the this thing out of the way. You can see all the coils and the plugs are right there. And Jaden's gonna hold open it's electric throttle, so there's no cable. So holding down the gas doesn't do anything. So like I said, I'd probably just so your fingers don't get in the way if you put it in the top. Exactly. And then I'm gonna use this toothbrush here and just scrub. There really isn't that much carbon buildup in here, which I'm kind of hoping there would be, and that would be the issue. So we'll see, but it doesn't hurt to do it while we're in here, so we're going to take care of that right now, spraying some throttle body cleaner, and hopefully that makes a difference. Alright, so we just put everything back together. I cleaned the math, cleaned throttle body. It wasn't really, neither were dirty. They weren't really that dirty at all. But whatever this thing is, it had a bunch of crap, and I cleaned it best I could with a pin. I wonder where the EVAP, because that's my code for the EVAP. So I'm going to have to take a look. Okay, we got everything buttoned back up together. We cleaned the math, cleaned the throttle body. They really weren't that dirty. Again, the code I'm getting is for the EVAP, and based on this little diagram over here, I'm assuming that this is what they're talking about. This is the little thing right here, the EVAP. So I don't really see what I can do with that other than replace it if there's something wrong with it. But I checked all the vacuum hoses here, and they all seem to be fine. So hopefully, a lot of the Trailblazer Envoy people online were saying that they were getting this code, but ended up just being their throttle body. So hopefully that's the case here, and if not, I guess this is my next thing to address and see if I got to change this little EVAP purge solenoid sensor wackadoodle thing. But let's go ahead and try it, Jaden. Whenever you clean a math, your engine will always take a second to start back up like that. And the same thing with the throttle body. It's going to evaporate all the crap running through all the carbon. What's up? No check engine?
No tack.
Yeah, I know. Works and it wants to. Well, so far it's running good. Let's let it warm up and see what happens. All right, guys. So I just realized I was editing the video that you're watching now. I never even finished the video. So I figure I might as well take you guys out in the Envoy, and hopefully this rough idle I had is still gone. It was gone yesterday. Now it's kind of like, I'm kind of like in my head thinking that it used to run more smoothly, but it's running a lot better. I'm not sure if it's running as well as it did when I bought it, but the issue I was having is that when it's in drive, that's when the idle feels kind of rough. If you're in drive and you're stopped at a stop sign or a stoplight, that's when the idle is rough. Not in neutral, not in reverse, not in park. And that may make you think, oh, it's a motor mount. Well, even before I did the mass airflow and the throttle body cleaning, it was doing this. And it would be on and off. Some days I'd have no rough idle, and some days I would. So, again, the spark plugs are new. The coil packs are new. Can rule those things out. Maybe it needs some higher octane fuel and some injector cleaner. I don't know. But after we did that stuff yesterday, after I cleaned the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body, it was running a hell of a lot better. So let's see. I haven't driven this at all today. Let's see if that's still the case. This is a nice freezing cold start. It is so fucking cold here in Florida right now. I don't know why. So let this thing warm up a bit, and I should be able to tell. You can see my tack has a mind of its own. The previous owner had the tack fixed. And I say that with quotations because I guess the guy, I don't know, he went in the cluster somehow, messed with it when that's not the correct fix. So it kind of works when it wants to, but you know, I'm not towing anything with this thing or anything like that, so I don't really care. So I'm gonna let this warm up and we'll take it out for a spin. I can already tell you right now I don't like the way it's running, which isn't a good sign, but it's a very cold start. So let me let this thing warm up and I'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes. I gotta be honest with you guys, it's a love-hate relationship with this car. So like, it's definitely it's not even that warm yet. The idle is definitely smoother since I did the mass airflow and the throttle body cleaning. But you can just, I'm sure you can, well maybe you can't because I'm talking and talking and talking, but listen for a second. Hear how everything rattles? Like that engine's, so you can, well I don't want somebody to think I'm being suspicious here sitting at the stop sign. You get classic old ladies in the neighborhood that are always looking at, and there you go. Check engine lights back on. So obviously the issue is not resolved. I don't even have to, I mean, unfortunately AutoZone's closed, but guarantee you it's the same code. I think there's actually an evap issue, which I never really hear of the evap systems on cars going bad that often, at least not with GM. I did have it happen with a GM minivan I had. It was a Uplander, but check this out. Oh, okay, it did make a difference for once. Usually when I put it in neutral, the idle gets better, but it's just the same. The engine just, I don't know, just doesn't sound happy. So obviously we still have an issue. Wonderful. Didn't hurt to clean the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body. Never a bad thing. But it's back to the drawing board, I guess. I don't know what. Again, I'm gonna run the code one more time tomorrow, make sure it's still the same one, and if that's the case, I'll hit the forums and see what people are doing about this besides the first thing I tried, which was cleaning the mass airflow and the throttle body, which I've said 3 times. So hopefully, I mean, even if it is the evap canister, solenoid, sensor, gizmo thing, they're not that expensive and it's very accessible to replace. So that's not the end of the world, but I'm just hoping I can get this figured out soon. I do have this car up for sale. I don't really need it. You know, I bought it originally thinking I would use it, and now I've got the truck, and I just don't need it. I like the Buick too much to replace the Buick with this. But I don't know. I've got it up for sale. There really isn't that much profit to make on this thing. Again, it wasn't supposed to be a flip originally. But we'll see. You know, if it sells for the right number, I'll sell it. If it doesn't, I'll keep it. It's that simple. Just another friggin' car I'm going to have laying around I don't need. But it's nice. I mean, once I get these issues resolved, the stupid check engine, rough idle mystery, it'll be a lot more enjoyable to drive.